Hey there, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. For my first video, I thought I would do something a little ironic and give you an inbox review sprue tour of a new kit here. Not something I generally find much use in, except for I decided when I was offered this kit for this purpose that I wanted to know a little bit more about it, so I tried to find one myself, and the only one I could find was in German. I'm not particularly fluent in German, so I did get a good look at what was inside, but I didn't understand anything that was being said. I don't know if I did understand it, it would make much difference. But here we are. Patrick over at MBK USA Distributors offered to send me this and have a look at it. It's a kit that's put together by MBK and Ushi Vanderrossen. The intent with this, I believe, is to give you a kit that includes everything you need to build out of the box. It gives you all the hop-up parts that you might want. You don't have to go searching for those on your own. You get them right here in the box. This particular kit, ironically enough, is I can't believe I'm doing this because 6 months ago I never would have given this kit a second look. But not only is it a German tank, it's a paper Panzer, which means it didn't actually exist. It was intended to be made by the Germans, but they kind of lost the war in the process and didn't have time to get to it. And my understanding with the E50, from what I gathered on the 2 minutes I spent on Wikipedia, is it's meant to be a replacement for the Tiger and Panther. It was supposed to be an easier design to manufacture, faster to manufacture. It was going to be in the 50 to 75 ton range, hence the 50. It has an 88 modified gun, I believe. It's a cool looking tank. It never did anything, apparently, but it's still pretty cool. And the cool thing about it, and what I'm looking forward to the most, is being able to do some more stylized, artistic, and fictional paint schemes. Something that will be interesting and not necessarily accurate. Something that could have been done if the war had gone on for a little longer. Maybe octopus scheme, maybe some actual red oxide primer. Depends on how much grief I get on Scale Modeler's critique group for that. But anyway, here it is, thanks to MBK and Ushi, and thanks to Patrick over at MBK USA for sending this out. I figured I would do an inbox review and then maybe some videos along the way as we put it together to let you know how it goes together. With that said, let's dive into the box. It's a nice box. You need to turn it around and flip it open. It opens just like this. And see, here you have everything inside. And I'll set this aside and we'll get things out and go through them one by one. Here we have the instructions. Now, if you didn't know this from doing the research like I did, as soon as you saw the instructions, you would say, hey, this looks an awful lot like Trumpeter Hobby Boss. Well, it's actually the Trumpeter plastic. They got the plastic from Trumpeter to put this together, and this is just your basic instructions. If you're familiar with Trumpeter, you'll have seen them before. We don't need to step through and analyze each step of the instructions. It's pretty straightforward. The tank's not all that complicated. Goes together nicely. 17 steps. There you go. Boom, bam, easy. Oh wait, no, because you got to throw in all of this Voyager photo etch, and I've used Voyager in the past on a King Tiger many years ago, and they give you literally everything. We have the photo etch right here. It looks like it's several sheets. I'm not going to open it now because I want to keep it protected until I start mutilating it myself. But you can see you've got parts here for the turret, and you replace all the tool clasps and latches and hold downs with photo etch. We'll see how much of this actually gets used because I'm a bit of a klutz with photo etch, and it's a reason I avoid it, especially on armor, because when I did that King Tiger years ago, this crap here just drove me nuts. Plus, When I build it, I kind of think I want to do something to where it was pushed out of the factory in a hurry to try to help change the momentum of the war. So maybe they didn't put all this stuff on. I'm going to have to decide because they sent me this kit and they want to know how this stuff goes together. So on the one hand, I feel like I need to use it, and on the other, you can see you flip over and you've got the mud guards and the fender or mud splatter fender things, and you replace all the stuff on the plastic parts. That means a lot of cutting, sanding, filling, and redoing all this stuff with photo etch. It looks nice. It'll really kick the model up a notch or two, but it's going to add a lot of time to the build. But hey, that's part of the fun, right? Let's look at the plastic. Oh boy, look. You have the upper turret. Plastic. Ooh, ooh. Now this is something with the trumpeter kit that I'm not sure the vintage of this kit, but you see the grills here are kind of hollow. Maybe on newer kits they would not hollowed. They would want this to be hollowed out, and you'd put a photo etch screen over it maybe, and have the boxes under for the radiators or whatever the hell goes there. But the molding's crisp. This panel detail might be a little heavy here. I'm not sure how it is on the real thing. But a lot of this detail here you're going to sand away and replace with photo etch. The fender mounts here, I really love those because those are a good place to put some oils and build up. And I've never liked fenders or mud guards on German tanks for some reason. I think they always look better with it off. But it's crisp. The plastic looks good. It's good quality plastic. It's not that soft Airfix type crap. Looks good. This sprue here is going to be the plastic mud guards and the rear glaciers and all this stuff. This stuff here, it's going to be replaced by photo etch in the photo etch set here. You got some tools, but it looks very good. There's no flash. The sprue gates are small and in logical places. None of that tack'em stuff going on here. If you flip it over, you see you got some ejector pin marks under the mud flaps. Now people say, oh, those will never be seen, but I don't like leaving those. It bugs me. So you're not going to have to worry about that with the photo etch parts. But otherwise, everything is pretty crisp. Detail looks good. I like the look of it. Straightforward, and there's not much to this kit, honestly, in plastic. Most of the work is going to come in the photo etch. Here are the road wheels. You got two of these sprues. I'll set one aside here, and we'll look at one. Muffler, two-piece, or exhaust, rather, sorry. Oops. Road wheels. They say it was supposed to be easier to manufacture, yet the road wheels still look typical German, overdoing it. But it is what it is. They're not too complicated. It's not a Tiger, at least. Everything looks good. I don't see any ejector pin marks in places that would cause a lot of problems. If you're like me, they annoy you and you want to remove them even if they're never going to be seen anyway. That's kind of one of my peeves, but it's not that big a deal. And I have a couple more sprues here. Lower turret parts. Rear plate, front plate of the turret, the cupola, some handles. Again, no flash. Looks nice. I really don't think I'm best set up with my video equipment here to give you highly detailed shots of this. A little bit of flash there. I might could do some photos with the DSLR and post along with this if people really wanted. That looks good. Everything looks in order. Here's a sprue you're not gonna use, and we'll get to that in a minute. I mean, you got a couple parts here, the gun mantle and all that. Gun parts here. This part, this shroud that goes over the gun, is replaced by photo etch. There's no reason you would want to use that when you have the photo etch much thinner and in scale. So you're not going to use this though, because they give you some nice stuff to replace that. But let's look at the lower hull. Basic. You know, not a lot going on. And what I like is the bottom isn't real dirty. I mean, there's a couple pins here. A lot of people I know ignore the bottom of tanks because, oh, well, they're not going to get picked up. Nobody's going to see it. I don't like that. I like to paint them and everything. I know some people don't even bother painting them. You can clean that up. It'll be nice. You got the detail here. If you're doing oil paint rendering, which is my new favorite thing. You'll want to get around these hatches and do some leaks and stuff. It'll be fun. Nobody will ever see it, but you'll know it's there, and that's all that matters. And one more plastic piece, which is the upper turret. It comes protected in this nice little shell, which is nice because it is kind of thin, but it's nicely detailed. There's a little scuff where it's scuffed around. I don't know if you can see that. Not a big deal, but you just clean some parts of it. It was cut off of a larger sprue and packed in there, obviously. Part number on the inside. Now I don't know why Revell could never do this. Put those markings on the inside. Yeah. No interior or anything, so you're not going to want to leave the hatches open unless you shove a SS douchebag down in there so it can't be seen. So the inside can't be seen. And I said you weren't going to use that gun barrel plastic because you get this beauty turn metal barrel. It's nice. It's such a ridiculously big gun. I think this tank was probably overcompensating a little bit, but it's nice and smooth. It'll take some metal primer and hold some paint well, I'm sure. It'll kick the kid up a notch to steal from whoever that guy is that says that shit. Here you have some resin parts, jack, some little details. I don't know what those are. I'm sure I'll find out in the instructions. And actual metal tow cables, which are always nice. And then you got resin to replace the tow cables. There were plastic ones, but you have resin here to replace the plastic ones. They appear to be more in scale and just nicer detail. So those are nice. Now, here's the one thing I have to bang this kit on, and it's these damn rubber band tracks. Because the point of the kit is, hey, you don't have to go out and buy anything. They give you the nice photo etch, 1,000 pieces of photo etch. You're going to spend hours making this kit nice. You're not going to want to put these on. Look, I mean, even maybe if they were, better, but this is a trumpeter part. It has nothing to do with MBK and Ushi doing this. It's just they put these in here. They got these nipples on them, which you had to cut off, and even then it's going to leave a mark. Now you could hide it in mud, but I'm thinking if you're going to put all the effort into this kit, you're not going to want to put rubber band tracks on. You're going to want workables, and I suspect they left those out because, one, you have to make a deal with Fruel or Model Casting or whoever to put them in there, and two, it's going to jack the price of the kit up significantly. And maybe they figure there's options out there for workable tracks. You can get plastic ones, you can get metal ones, you can get other plastic ones, you can get other metal ones. I would definitely invest in them. They're not even straight. They're all mushed up. I don't think they actually intend for you to use those, so those are in the trash. Finally, we have some clear parts, periscopes, and some more wire here. And that pretty much does it. That's the kit. The kit looks great, honestly. It looks like it'll be easy enough to build if you didn't have the photo etch. When you start to put this photo etch all on there, it's going to ramp up construction. So this is going to be a slow burn for me because I'm going to have to try not to lose my shit on this. Because honestly, I love the detail, but I hate the work. I've said it 100 times. I'm more comfortable in the painting and weathering stage. Building is a process to get me there. But we'll look at this more and more moving forward. I'll try to do some more videos if I get to something interesting. It's kind of like photographing when you're building for a magazine. You just don't want to stop and put the model on the table and take a picture and process and all that when you're in the mood to build. But we'll look at that. That's the Das Werk, which I don't know what means because I don't know German, but there you have it right there. The Das Werk German E50 Standardpanzer, which is kind of a weird name, Standardpanzer. Why couldn't they name it something like Bobcat or, keep with the cat name or the Angry Tabby or what the fuck ever, I don't know, but it's a cool looking tank and it'll be cool to play around with the painting since there's no historical accuracies that we need to worry about with a scheme. Anything could have gone with something that never actually made the battlefield. But that's it. We'll get to building it, and hopefully you can check back later and see how it goes, and hopefully I still have my sanity after dealing with this Voyager stuff. It's really nice. I can recommend it. I do recommend you get some tracks if you're ordering it. You can buy this through MBK's eBay store. If you're a member of SM Scale Modelers Critique Group, I always get hung up on the acronym. If you're a member there, Patrick's there. He's a great guy. Send him a message. Tell him what you want. He'll get you sorted out. If you're not, join and do the same. They have some other interesting looking kits, and MBK is the distributor for a number of brands. So I recommend you check them out. We thank them for sending this out to us. We're gonna have fun with it, hopefully, or we'll end up in the insane asylum. One or the other. It'll be a journey to get there. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed my first YouTube video. We'll see you later.